شرب العرق لعب الورق خيل السبق صيد الحمام شرب العرق لعب الورق خيل السبق صيد الحمام.
So Kills we started end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000. We were kids, like young, and we were in a city that was completely messed up, chaotic. It was the end of the Civil War, so I was feeling some despair, but also I had this desire to change my world and create something for myself, and music somehow allowed me to do it. And with So Kills we started, it was such, the whole region was not ready, but the country was not at all ready. It was like weird to be in this environment, because we had no venues, we had no places where to rent things, and we had no people who worked. There was no musicians, So it was not easy, but it was an adventure. It was really thrilling. So we did some crazy concerts and crazy places, but it was a rock and roll experience. For me, it was like going to school, or having a degree, because for me music meant that you needed, somehow there's something experimental about, for me, doing music, and there's something about discovering or discovery. Like there's something, like there's a thrill of breaking some rules and breaking some codes and messing up with some things. For me, this was important. I was in this confrontational thing, and it was not because I planned it. It was because I was like this. I'm the result of a mixed Arabic and diaspora, living person. Because I've lived. It was the Civil War in Lebanon. We lived in Lebanon, we lived outside Lebanon, we lived in Arab countries, we lived in Europe, So for me, I was just expressing something that had to do with my identity. And my identity was plural, and it was not one thing, it was many things. And I didn't have the same rules or the same codes, and I kind of wasn't defiant. Like, I didn't want to go with the rules. I wanted to just try things in a different way. And I had but it's a very interesting experience, because you live amazing and thrilling things, and you travel all the time, and you are confronted each time to a different public, a different experience, a different country, and the reactions are different. But there's a very interesting thing happening, and I think there's a curiosity towards I think somehow an alternative or a subcultural thing. Like I would say that people, I think, some people are fed up with what they see on TV or on news, and it makes them a little bit more curious. A lot of people are adventurous. They want to learn more and see other things than what they hear in the mainstream things. So I think there's something interesting happening, because I do feel that the public is there and is engaged and is getting the emotion or the thing that I'm somehow not trying to pass, but that I am kind of living. I do feel there's a connection. And I also think that the Jim Jarmusch movie, in which I performed and I performed the song I wrote, I think this also exposed me to a different public, and exposed me to a different public and different people, and it opened some doors for me, because when you are, and I had a lot of interesting artists old artists that really inspired me in so many ways. For example, Mohamed is somebody who, for my own reasons, I really fell in love with his music, because I think that he's somebody who really was free in his mind, and he tried a lot of things, and he mixed a lot of sounds and influences, and nothing stopped him from trying with Arabic music, and it always sounded so authentic and so beautiful. Asmahan, for example, is somebody also who mixed a lot, and a lot of people, like say Darwish, a lot of people tried things and broke some rules, and for me they were a big inspiration. When I started working, I listened so much to their music, and I compiled, I don't know how we say that, I just collected so much of this music, because for me it connected me to a past and something that I liked about Arabic culture, and something that I liked about where I came from, and something that really allowed me to, you know, be in touch with my roots, where I really belong. You know, I sang in the beginning with Soukis in English, but for me it became like a, yeah, it became like I had to sing in Arabic, because first of all it was not a trend at all. Back then it was like, if you sing in Arabic, then you're, you know, and so for me it's as if I discovered this thing that is very precious and very beautiful, and you can do many things with it, and it became like it became like my tool. But I could sing in so many languages. You know, I learned 5 languages. So but my desire or my heart went towards Arabic. I haven't really concentrated and stopped everything and to work really on my album. I've tried things and I've recorded things, and I always do this. I do it in many steps, and then at the end, when it matures, the idea matures, I go for it. So I haven't been there, and I know that the touring thing, the fact that I toured a lot, and I also met with a lot of musicians, and it also opened my eyes and ears to a lot of things. I think this will somehow impact the next album. I still don't know how. It's heading towards interesting places, because now you have a public that is more used to, you know, going to performances, buying their tickets, being, you know, so seeing concerts, etc. So it's more and more there. I think it needs to be more organized yet. I think the public is ready to get more and enthusiastic. That's the main thing. And I think the bands are getting more and more, you know, bigger and more professional, etc. There are more and more venues, more and more people willing to organize things, etc. But it's always a bit messy when I come and perform in the Middle East. In each country for a different reason. There's always, but maybe because we didn't have the 30 years or 40 or 60 years. When you go and perform in, I don't know, in Germany, they've been doing concerts since I don't know when, you know. So this is something in their culture. We're starting from a point where we're building things, and things are getting ready, and a lot of people are really well intentioned and with a good energy. But there's always a surprise. There's always a surprise when you're performing in an Arabic country. You never know what will happen. So let's hope for the best. I don't know how it changed. I don't know. It's like something. It happens. Like, but I have other musicians. I have some other songs. Things evolved. You know, we've done since Decaf. I think I've toured in like, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 cities. So I really don't know. Yeah, like. Yeah, at least. You wake up and you're in a new city. Sometimes you're like, oh, I forgot, where are we? Yeah, I have a lot of memories here. My family was very connected to Egypt somehow, and we were connected to Egypt also through Arabic, Egyptian music and Egyptian cinema. And I think I took I have a lot of influence coming from this cultural thing. Like I think it has an impact on many things in me. I have something Egyptian in me, even if I'm not Egyptian, and I think a lot of Arabs have it. And I think Egyptians have the best, like, the most incredible humor in the world. They are so funny that I think this thing also has influenced a lot of us, because humor is a very important, I would say, not cultural thing, but it's a communication thing, and some cultures don't have a lot of humor, or don't have, and here there's a twist that is incredible, and this humor is present a lot in music and in the movies. I think this is something also that impacts me.